Welcome to the Perrysburg Podcast, episode 130. I'm your host, Perrysburg resident Kim Newlove. The Perrysburg Podcast is a resource for Perrysburg residents, future and current. We talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. Our website is perrysburgpodcast.com. Today, we're talking about the 2026 guest application process for the Perrysburg Podcast. I don't like to bury the lead, so here it is. There are 3 steps. Step 1, fill out the guest application form online. It is a 12-question Google form. Step 2, wait for my response. And step 3, if you're offered an interview, respond to my email and we'll plan our episode together. That's it, just 3 steps. If you don't hear back after 4 weeks, reach out via email. My email address is kim@perrysburgpodcast.com. Where can you find the guest application form? The link to the application form is in the show notes today on perrysburgpodcast.com/130. I also put a link to the guest application form in the navigation bar for the website, perrysburgpodcast.com. This is new here in January 2026. So go to perrysburgpodcast.com and at the top, look in the navigation bar for the website and you will find the guest application form link. In case you're wondering why I have a guest application process for the Perrysburg podcast, the short answer is that it saves me time and it helps me find guests that are a good fit for the show. I got this idea from a podcaster friend. She has been using it for years and it works really well for her. I tried it in 2025 and I'm happy to say that it worked well for me too. I saved time and I connected with some great guests. As far as timing, why January? Why publish this podcast episode in January? It's because even though people reach out all year long to be on the podcast, having a guest application process helps me review requests and plug guests in who fit all year long. But as I record this in mid January 2026, I get a spike in guest pitches every January. That spike has prompted me. It's like an annual reminder to update the guest application form and explain the process here on the podcast. I very much appreciate people reaching out and trying to help me with all of the podcast episodes that I am hoping to publish here in 2026. So please keep the guest applications coming. I appreciate your offers. Now, even though the Perrysburg podcast is my hobby podcast or a service project, you could say, I do take it seriously. I care about featuring guests who align with the mission of this podcast and my vision for my 2026 production schedule. The mission of the Perrysburg podcast is to be a resource for current and future Perrysburg residents, and also to talk about what's in Perrysburg and why people like to live here. If you are curious about my 2026 production schedule, please listen to episode 128. Now, let's talk about what's actually on the guest application form. It's pretty short, it's just 12 questions. Questions 1 and 2 ask for your email address and your name. Question 3 asks, where do you live? City of Perrysburg, Perrysburg Township, or outside of Perrysburg? If you live outside of Perrysburg, you could still make it on the show. I've had plenty of guests who do not live in Perrysburg. Question 4 asks, what interested you in being on the Perrysburg podcast? Tell me in 50 words or less. Question 5 asks whether you listened to episode 128 or not. It's just a simple yes no question. Episode 128, again, was my 2026 vision board episode. That's where I talked about what I want to put on the podcast in 2026. Question 6 is multiple choice, and it asks which category from my 2026 vision board aligns with you as a guest. There's an option marked other if needed. Now, behind the scenes, this sixth question, this multiple choice question, is very helpful to me. It shows that the applicant has put some thought into why they want to be on the show. And that's important because I get pitches from people all over the country who want to promote a book or a service or a product, but their topic isn't necessarily connected to Perrysburg or the mission of the podcast. This question helps me quickly understand whether that person is a good fit or not. Question 7 asks which episode of the Perrysburg podcast is most similar to the episode that you'd like us to create together. I ask for the episode number and the guest name. Again, this shows me that you've done a little research and you understand the show. Question 8 is about timing. The best time to be on a podcast is when you have something to promote. For example, I plan to have someone from the Girl Scouts of Western Ohio on the Perrysburg podcast in January or February because it is Girl Scout cookie season. Timing's everything. If timing matters to you as an applicant, let me know when you answer question 8. Question 9 asks for a short bio, 100 words or less. Tell me who you are and why my audience might want to hear from you. How are you a resource for future or current Perrysburg residents? Question 10 asks for your primary website, your LinkedIn URL if you have one, and your social media links like Facebook and Instagram. Question 11 asks whether you prefer an in person interview or a remote interview. Remote interviews are over Zoom. And question 12 is an open mic moment. Is there anything else you'd like to share? The magic number is 100 words or less. And that's it. Submit the form, I'll review it. And if you don't hear back in about 4 weeks, email me at kim@perrysburgpodcast.com. That's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening to me talk about the 2026 guest application process for the Perrysburg podcast. For the show notes, visit perrysburgpodcast.com. In the show notes, you'll find the guest application form direct link. You click it and it'll get you right to the form. I've also got my email address, a link to episode 128, the vision board episode, and a link to sign up for our email newsletter so you can hear about new episodes by email. I typically send out emails every Friday. If you'd like to be a guest, apply today. I'm hoping to sound like Jeff Probst from Survivor. So if you'd like to be a guest, seriously, apply today. And if you know someone who would be a great fit for the show in 2026, please share this episode with them. Be sure to subscribe to or follow the Perrysburg podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube so you get each new episode right when it comes out. Thanks for listening today. I'll talk to you next week.